got on today? What you got on?
Shit, right, sure. You know, just good motion, the only motion.
Welcome back to another Zay the Alchemist video. Today, you see we're outside in the white tee with the, don't mind that. But today we are talking about self-awareness. What is self-awareness? Self-awareness is the ability to understand yourself and how your thoughts, actions, and emotions align with your values, such as your personality, your actions, your values, beliefs, your thoughts, and your emotions. What we're basically going to be doing in this topic is going over what makes you, your personalities, your emotions, your values, your behaviors, and understanding how people perceive you. So the first one we're going to talk about is understanding your personality, which is recognizing your strengths and your weaknesses. So that can be noticing what you're good at, noticing what you're bad at. When you get to notice what you're bad at, you get to notice the things you get to work on and the things you can progress in. So I would say being more self-aware is always a great thing. You can always use being self-aware in your everyday life, for yourself, for the people around you, and that's it's more of it can be used more of as an everyday thing. Next is understanding your emotions, recognizing what important values that you have with your life, and recognizing your emotions and understanding them and feeling them. So once you get to that second part of understanding your emotions, you get with the first part. Let's go back. With the first part of your personality, you get a glimpse of yourself. Once you start to understand your emotions, you understand why you do what you do, why you react the way you react, and what makes you react the way you react. So those things play a part into the whole category of self-awareness. Next would be understanding your value, recognizing what is important to you. So what are your goals, what are your ambitions, what are your dreams? The more you become self-aware, you start to notice things that you didn't think you would really like or didn't notice you would really partake in. So I was saying being self-aware could open your eyes to doing new things and to being around new people, and to notice how being around certain people can affect how you act or affect how you view life. So being self-aware can play a part when it comes to being around groups of people, learning who you are, understanding yourself, creating new values, improving yourself. So next would be understanding your behavior. Recognize your actions impact others. So some people don't really notice when they have affected someone in any way, in a positive, negative, it doesn't matter which way. When you being self-aware, you start to pay attention to how, like I said earlier, people react to how you talk to them or how you treat them. So always understand your behavior and always try to improve on your behavior, because everybody always has room to grow. Even me, I always have room to grow. So I always work on that. And last one was understand how others perceive you. Recognize how others see you. So with this one, it could be a little tricky, because if you're too self-aware in a negative way, you would think people are looking at you in a bad way. You could create negative self-awareness. Like you think you overly aware, assessed everything. You feel like everybody's looking at you. But when you just when you have self-awareness in a positive way, it's in the last part to the beginning of what is self-awareness is understanding how people perceive you. So in my terms, understanding how people perceive you is, how do people feel when they see me? How do people feel when I'm around? What is the type of vibe people feel when they see me? and this doesn't always have to be bad. Some people that have sometimes being overly self-aware can be bad, especially when it comes to being around people, because if you like are self-conscious of yourself and you are self-aware, you kind of feel like people are talking about you, and you could be like, oh, maybe I don't smell good today, or something along those lines. So being self-aware can lead you to being self-conscious, but if you do everything with a positive mindset, it should not lead you down a path of negativity. Now, let's talk about how can you improve your self-awareness. First thing I would like to say to improve your self-awareness would be always practice mindfulness. Meditation, yoga, other practices that can help you stay present at the moment. So meditation, as I said in the last one, if you haven't watched emotional healing, in the last video I said meditation is something I would recommend to anybody, because it takes that time, however long you are in meditation for. That is your personal time for the day to collect your thoughts, or to not sit with no thoughts, and just feel the emotions for the day and just be present. Meditation is the best way to stay present. I used to meditate like 2 to 3 times a day. I never really would want to sit for too long. Like I would sit for like 10 minutes at a time, but I always wanted to stay present as much as I could. So I just gathered the knowledge just to just meditate multiple times a day, and it brought me to a better state of being and a better state of presence. Journaling is the next thing I would like to talk about on how to improve your self-awareness. Journaling has always been recommended when it comes to how to improve anything that I've studied so far in a psychology term, psychology subjects. So journaling is always good. Always write down your thoughts and what triggers you. Always write down new ways that can help you identify your patterns and your triggers. Always identify your patterns and your triggers. Me personally, I write about my day, how I felt yesterday, the goals I want to accomplish, and anything that was always bothering me. That was something I always wrote in my journal, and I always read it back to me. I always wrote my goals in a journal. Next would be reflect. Make time to think about how your feelings and what you want to change. So always have time to set new goals, check in with yourself and give yourself grace. See how you're feeling, see how you want to feel, see what you want to change in your life. Next is talk to others, as friends, loved ones, and therapists. Always, if you have any issues, always go to someone you trust. A therapist, y'all can always go to a therapist. A therapist can help you with your issues and help you solve the problem, I would say. I can't speak so much from a therapist's point of view because I've never really went to therapy, so I don't really know so much of what to tell you, and other than go to therapy. That can help you, yes. Set goals, write down what you want to achieve, what I said earlier. Explainable. Accept yourself. Be objective and try to understand where you are in life. So if you're not where you want to be in life, just accept that this is where you're at for the moment. Everything happens for you, not against you. Like everything works out in your favor, so don't ever think that it's not. And just have a better understanding of who you are as a person. Not everything is coming at you at a fast pace. Not everything gets achieved at a fast pace. Self-awareness can help you manage your emotions, align your actions with your values, and have a more fulfilling life. So yes, you can use it to add more value to your life and make your life more fun. The next topic of this segment is the abilities with being self-aware. First one is integrating personal social identity, so you would know how to react in social environments versus being in personal environments, and how to carry yourself in different places. versus being into other places. Next one is identifying personal, cultural, and logistic assets. So what are your personal traits? Like, what are your personal strengths? What are your cultural strengths? What do you know? What are your assets? What are your abilities? Identifying one's emotions. So when you're able to be self-aware, you can understand your emotions, you can understand the next person to you emotions, you get to understand everybody's emotions. Once you become self-aware, you could understand a person, or you could tell what type of person a person is just by looking at them, just by being around them for 30 seconds. You could tell just by being around them, you can tell what type of person you are around. Next one would be demonstrating honesty and integrity. So always doing right, always being honest, always being righteous. Next is linking feelings and values and thoughts. So always be ahead of how you feel, always know your values, and always keep up with your thoughts. Always monitor your thoughts to make sure you keep in positive thoughts in your head. If you're not, understand, hey, why is this thought coming up? Understand it, and try to move on and try to refill that negative thought with a positive or two positive thoughts. Examining being biased and prejudiced. So that's knowing right from wrong, knowing what's right and what's wrong, knowing that one's more self-explanatory, and experiencing self-efficiency. So learn how to be more independent, learn how to move without anybody having to say anything to you. Those are all ways that those are all the abilities that come with being self-aware. In my opinion, these is really good benefits just for learning how to understand emotions. Like, this is something I would say is should be second that you would need to know. Like, when I learned how to be self-aware, I didn't know this. Like, I kind of just wanted to learn myself, so I started to pay attention to myself. Now that I have actually researched it and I know what I know, it's kind of like there is no way, it's better just to know this information. Next part we are talking about is the benefits of self-awareness. So last part was the abilities. Now we're going to talk about the benefits. So it seems like this subject gets better and better. See, the first part, it seems like we just got the simple understanding of what this is, and the first part basically underlines everything we go through. After that, in this subject, it seems like it's more like you knowing, okay, you do this work, these are the benefits, these are the pros, these are the cons. So right now we're going to talk about the benefits. First one is being better able to manage and regulate your emotions. So being able to feel these emotions and not want to fight them, or being more at peace, or understanding why this is happening and being okay with understanding why this is happening. Next is better communication, understanding how to talk to people, being more professional when it comes to being around certain people. Next one I want to talk about is better job satisfaction. You become self-aware, you understand what your boss wants, you understand what you can push out, you can understand how to work a job and not overwork yourself. With you being self-aware, you can understand, okay, what is too much for my body and what is not. With you being self-aware, you can understand more of, okay, what does my boss want, and what can I give him, and what can I give out at the same time. The next one would be better decision-making skills. So you would be more, you just have a more, okay, I have a tendency to make rational decisions. So this time I'm going to sit down and actually think about my choices. Next one would be leadership skills, which would be me. I always, in jobs I actually did want to be in, I always excelled highly because I had good leadership skills. I always wanted to just do my job, do good work, and just get out. You know what I'm saying? My goal when I go to work is to be in and out. Keep everybody on task, keep the job done. Improved relationships, become more self-aware. You know how to handle your girlfriend, you know how to handle your family, you know how to talk to people better. Next one would be a higher level of happiness, so you would feel better about your day. You see more reasons to wake up and be alive. You would have more peace in your mind. And last one would be more confidence. So with you being more self-aware, you would know what you could change about yourself and what you like about yourself, your weaknesses and your strengths. So once you spot your weaknesses, like I said earlier, you can build on your weaknesses and make them your strength. So after a while, you just keep building more and more strengths. You have a collection of strengths. Sorry about that. Now we're going to talk about why do people become self-aware. More people become self-aware when they have the more willingly freedom to let go of the defense mechanisms and become more open to different ways of viewing life than assumed, or viewing life than they already live. So most people become self-aware to live a better life, or to know more about life, or to know more about their self, or to just be better. Next part we're going to talk about is control. Next part is control. So what is control? Control is controlling more your impulses, your adhering to more of the social norms, managing our emotions, and behaving correctly in appropriate moments. So control basically helps you identify when is it good to act a certain way, when is it not good to act a certain way. Control can be good if you're in a social event and you've already had enough to drink. If you're self-aware, you're like, okay, I don't think I should have any more, let's have some water. So being socially aware and self-aware can help you in those times of self-control and control. Now, since we have talked about what is self-awareness, the benefits of it, the different components of it, now we're going to talk about the different levels of self-awareness. So the first level we're going to talk about is differentiate. Differentiate is just basically when oneself begins to acknowledge their own reflection, they may detect there's something different or special about looking at their reflection. So basically self-explanatory. If you look at yourself in the mirror, you might notice something different. Or over time, when you want to change, the more you look in the mirror, you might find different changes in yourself. The next level to self-awareness is situation, which is when oneself begins to realize their own reflection, being, and movement as separate from those around them. So that's basically when you do different and act different than your friends or your family around you. So you're basically seem different. Next one would be identification. This is a stage in one's life where they fully know that it is their own reflection in the mirror. So once you fully recognize all your actions are you, everything you do is led by you, your emotions are you, everything is a reflection of you. Every action you have is a mirror of who you are. Every person you be around is a reflection of who you are as a person. So the last two we have are permanence and self-conscious. Self-conscious is when one adapts to the third person point of view of themselves. They become aware of the idea of that others perceive them in certain ways. So when you become self-conscious, you see yourself from a different perspective. Like, I feel like I've always been self-conscious because I say more of I talk about myself in third person. Like, I've always felt like I've been watching myself live life. For real. So I would say like more of I used to say, hold on. So I would be like, oh, Isaiah did something or we did something. I would talk more from a third person perspective because I'm used to watching myself do these things and just sitting back and understanding why I've done these things. So being self-conscious can open your eye to a different level, especially a third person perspective. And the last level of self-awareness is prominence, which is basically like seeing yourself, having a complete self of sense and picture a video, even as your parents change. So still having a complete self of knowing who you are or who you were at that time and who you have became today, even if you see a picture or a video. Like, I feel like I've been experiencing that lately because I look at something I've done in my past, and I don't say I'd be sad. I say I'd be more happy, and it's more like I smile, even if my past seems difficult or hard, or you feel what I'm saying, or if I knew what I knew I was going through at the time, I still always had that, like, I don't know, like when I look at my past, I know who I was then, and I knew if I stayed like trying like I was then, I would become better, or who I was today. So I became who I was today and even better just from, you feel me, just doing those, just, you feel me? So I'm saying, to sum up everything, because I feel like I just went on a little tangent, just always having a clear, self-aware view of who you were then, who you were now, no matter what people bring up to you, no matter what pictures you see, you understand that moment and you understand this has brought you to who you are today. So I think I've made a decision. I'm gonna split this series up into a 2-part series. So that's going to end this video for today. I'm going to edit a couple videos and upload these videos, but the sun is going down and I want to get y'all another section of this video. So we're going to cap this off right here. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a blessed day. We're going to finish part 2 of self-awareness, and stay blessed.
What you got on today? What you got on? Shit right here. You know, this good motion, the only motion.